Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Saturday Storytime with Watertown Swim. Today, I'm going to tell you how I was canceled from feeding the homeless. So, the reason I like to tell you guys these stories of being canceled is because I hope it encourages you to stop fearing being canceled. It's going to happen, and you just got to deal with it. I remember the first time I was canceled was about 4 years ago, and maybe 3.5 years ago. And after that happened, I was in such shock, and then I was scared because I thought I'm not going to be able to accomplish what I need to accomplish in the community. Um, because all these people are hating on me for being a Trump supporter. And that lasted until last year when everything started to go crazy with COVID. I just said, enough is enough. I'm going to just say what I feel because I believe President Trump was doing God's noble work. I don't think Trump understood that. But that's okay. So for me, it just came down to spirituality and, enough is enough. So, you will be canceled, but you just got to go with it. So this is how I got canceled from feeding the homeless. So a few months ago, I think it was in November, I was started looking for places that were feeding the homeless, and a lot of places were closed down because of COVID. And I found this one group, which I was very hesitant to join this group because I used to be part of it 15 years ago when I was radical left. But I was like, whatever, I really want to do it. So I joined the group. And for me, when I feed the homeless, it's are fortunate to be serving Christ and do things on our own. But I am feeding Christ when I feed others. And so I feel very fortunate to be able to serve whenever I am able to serve because I know there's times that I need help and I appreciate when people come in. So we started off and we would bring the food to downtown St. Pete, and it was a potluck, and the homeless people would come, and it was a group of all these people that would bring food. And I was doing that regularly. And then after a few months, somehow one of the ministry of the Signal group posted something like, "Oh, well, people don't realize how bad capitalism is, but we see it every time we do these food shares." So I just replied to her of like, "Well, you must not have traveled out of the country much if you think the poverty in the U.S. is so bad, because I just fed 500 people in India in November, and the food went like that. Here, I mean, these potlucks only get 20 to 40 people. It's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it's great, but I mean, in India, we'll get like thousands of people, and I've been to dozens of other countries, and I've seen the poverty. So this sparks, they're like, well, why are you part of this group? And somehow they also, okay, so then they send me this video of why capitalism is bad. And oh my gosh, this video. I started watching it not knowing if it was a joke because they literally were talking about Cuba and China as the model of like this is why communism is good. And I was just like I was like shocked. I mean, you think that I so then my response was this. All right, assume Cuba and China open their borders today for the entire United States. Anyone wants to immigrate, they can immigrate. How many Americans, including you in this Signal group, how many of you would go and take China and Cuba up on that offer? Let's switch that around. Imagine if the USA opened their borders today and allowed everyone from China and Cuba to immigrate to the US. How many people do you think would take the US up on that offer? I mean, simple will tell you that capitalism ain't that bad. And communism, great in theory, bad in actuality. So then it got out. They made some stupid comment like they found out I was a Trump supporter somehow, and made a comment. Well, tell me one reason why you like Trump. And I hate that question because it's like, how do you pick one reason? Like, so I always said, let me give you at least 21 reasons. You got time? And so I give them a list of reason from being pro life to being really good on cutting regulation for small businesses to school choice and right to try. Yeah, you go through all of this. Well, then it turned into, well, we don't feel safe having Trump supporters here, and I mean, all of them saying that there needs to be a vetting process before people can feed the homeless, because then she will go and probably has all these radical right wing Trump supporters on her page, and they'll call the cops on us. And it's not like they're hiding. The cops know they're giving food those days. Um, but it was just so funny. So then the one guy's like, or well, I don't know, guy. The one tran is like, well, I don't feel safe as a trans person having Trump supporters here. I'm still traumatized from going to uh, bowling alleys because of Trump supporters. And he never said he was beaten or anything. So I don't even know what the heck happened at that bowling alley. But I was like, this is really bizarre. I have not said anything to offend anyone. I've not been disrespectful at all. You guys are very intolerant of my opinion and passing judgment because they don't even know where I stand with trans or with gays or anything else. They just saw my points um, that had to do more with the economy. And so, anyways, I was like, well, for anyone that is scared of a Trump supporter, multiple Trump supporters will be showing up this morning with lentils and rice. So, multiple Trump supporter, my husband, my daughter, and I show up, and I made an Indian, like a South Indian dish that was coconut lentil curry with some rice. So, you show up, and the guy's like, rice? Do you eat rice for breakfast? That's just so weird to eat rice for breakfast. And I was like, well, it's South Indian. Well, I don't eat that for breakfast. I don't think of like that kind of food for breakfast. And I was like, isn't it so funny because they're supposed to be like the tolerant one, and here we are like bringing something like South Indian. Okay, I thought you were so open to all the minorities and different ethnicities, and here you are like disrespecting our dish that we just provided. And so, I mean, he said a couple, he was already irritated that we didn't bring masks, which we didn't because it was outside at a park and we're in Florida. And then so they were just so annoyed that we were there. The homeless people were cool talking with them. And then the funny part is when we were driving to the event, my husband sees this like rally going on, and it says something like for adoption. So he thought, well, like, oh, because we want to adopt a child, like maybe we should stop there and meet some people or see what's going on. So as we're leaving, the one lady's like, or one girl, most of these people are in like their 20s, it looks like. I mean, there were some in their 40s, 50s. And the one girl's like, oh, yeah, I have to leave to go to the rally. And my husband said, "Oh yeah, what's going on? Maybe we'll go too." And she's like, "We're protesting fascism." And we're like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, Governor DeSantis. We're protesting what he's trying to make into law." And my husband's like, "What? What do you do?" I'm like, just walk away. Just walk away. We're not going to be anything we're going to support because we generally like everything that DeSantis does." And then I heard her talking to like someone else about the fascism that they're trying to get rid of. And so we get into in the car. And my husband's like, what was going on?" I'm like, "Well, Governor DeSantis said if these crazy protesters are attacking you and you're in your car and you feel threatened, you are allowed to drive. And if they don't move and get injured or die underneath, you're not liable." And my husband's like, "Oh, yes, love it. Love it. That's very good." And generally, we do like everything DeSantis says. So, anyways, we go home. We get a call from the organizer that night, and she's like, well, oh, what was the word term she used? I don't remember. But anyways, basically, for everyone's safety, I'm no longer allowed to feed the homeless because they don't feel safe. Which I gotta share some of these messages because it was so ridiculous. But it's like, whatever. It's not like I need to go there. I can serve in other ways, of course. Um, and I hope you guys realize that um it will happen, but I feel that if we all speak up, let them cancel all of us. Like, do you remember hearing about these airlines after the Capitol riots, and they wanted to ban people that were at the riots? No, not the riots. People that were at the peaceful protest. I would be like, yeah, ban us. Ban every Trump supporter right now. Do it because I would love to see how you're going to keep your airline running when things no one wants to fly right now anyways. Like I would love Walmart calling him a sore loser. I mean, I would love all these companies to say no more Trump supporters. I have never once banned any Biden supporter. I have plenty of families that come to my pool that are Biden supporters. We don't talk about politics. There's been one or two that we've talked about politics, and it's been fine. But it's not like I'm in swimming class talking about Donald Trump when I'm teaching them to kick and paddle when they're like 1 year old. It doesn't matter. They're totally welcome to come here. I love having them here. I talk about other things other than Trump and veganism. Not often, but yeah, I do talk about other things. So, the cancel culture needs to end. The only way cancel culture ends is if they are exhausted. If we continue to give them power by being silenced, you are giving them power by being quiet. You have to realize that by being quiet and not telling people where you stand, you are giving them power. Yes, we don't need to rub it in their faces 24/7, but we cannot be scared to say where we stand. They cannot go and cancel every single person, okay? So everyone needs to make it aware right now. This is the time that we're in. We need to make it others aware where we stand. We welcome others to come, but we're not going to be scared to be quiet. And that's what it is. There's just been too many people that have been silent. So if you have been silent up to this point, take a stand right now. Whether that is changing your display picture on Instagram or Facebook, I mean, make it peaceful. You don't have to be like in your face and ready to slit their throats. Is it not find your own balance? Um, know your facts, know why you like something, where you stand, so you can argue or debate comfortably and respectfully. Like, no one's BP needs to go up, okay? Just do it. So I hope you realize that it is so worth being canceled. I love being canceled. And I hope many others join in and yeah, let's all get canceled because that's the only way we will actually cancel culture. It's not just sending me money or sending Mike Lindell money. We all need to just say where we stand. Okay, if it comes up in conversation, did you put your yard sign out when it was there? Did you have your bumper sticker when it was needed? Did you make a Facebook post every now and again? Okay, you might not have to put as many political. Okay, the majority of voters did vote for President Trump. Okay, so thank you guys all for joining in today for Story Time with Watertown Swim. We hope to see you again soon. Bye.